Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Squelch, and you're watching me go from zero to hero on a Shadow Priest in the War Within Season 2. Right now, what I'm doing on it is I'm going to go do more delves. I did some delves during the Gear Up on Fresh 80 stream that I did last night, and in that we did some delves. We did 4 delves, which is all you can do in a day, 4 bountiful tier 8 delves. We did some M0 with stream viewers, which I allow myself to do because I don't get any M+ rating for grouping with people and doing M0. And we also did some weekly stuff, and all of that together has put me at 627 item level. Now, we did get very lucky. We got this very nice ring from the Motherlode, and we got M0, and we got these very nice pants from the 4 Mythic Dungeons quest and stuff. So we've gotten some good pieces, but now I want to keep going because I still have veteran Season 1 gear equipped from the Siren Isle and whatnot, which I would very much like to replace. Another thing to note is that I did get a excessively bejeweled curio from Gallywix on LFR, so I'll be using that. But I'll be using that as late as possible because I will first try to get myself some more pieces to see if I get anything else. Ooh. Before I get started with the delve, I guess I can get started with the delve while I yap here. Tier 8, hop in there, hopefully get a Delver's Bounty. Now, if I don't get Delver's Bounty before my last delve, I'm going to use Undercoin in order to buy myself the item that spawns in the Underpin so that I can get a guaranteed Delver's Bounty and then use it in that delve and try and get myself another hero piece of gear. Ideally, I would get like a helmet because then I can tierify the helmet and use this curio to turn, I don't know, my shoulders or my gloves or something into a tierifiable piece or into a tier piece, and that way I can get at least 2 set for 1 catalyst charge and all that. That would be ideal, but will that be the case? I do not know. But that's the plan right now, is to try and get 2 set by the end of this little intro bit, and then I'm going to actually hop into M+. I'm going to try and get up to +6 today, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to host my own key, which I got a Cinderbrew Meadery. So we're going to do a +2 Cinderbrew Meadery, hopefully get a +4, and then hopefully get a +6, but we'll see how it turns out. Oh, excuse me. We'll see how it turns out. I literally just woke up. It's 8:43 a.m. and I'm just trying to get my delves done so I can actually play this character in M+ like I wanted to. So yeah, talk to you once I'm done with delves, and I'll show you what I got from the delves, and then we can hop into M+. Let's just head on over here, and we're going to go ahead and grab the, turn in the excessively bejeweled curio to the Junk Master to get ourselves a helmet. What does the helmet give us anyway? A shit ton of haste. Love it. We're going to grab that. It's only 629, the helmet, but I'll take it. Okay, that looks perfect. I don't even need to change it for the transmog, do I? We're going to go ahead and fix the transmog real quick. Gobthulu can't be looking like that. Speaking of which, Gobthulu is not going to be looking like this either. We're going to go ahead today for the stream and farm ourselves a new appearance, which is currently favorited set at Mythic. There you go. Gobthulu should look like this. You do have the Nyalotha set, but I really want the purple one, so we're going to farm Mythic Nyalotha on a bunch of characters until we get this full set. That's the idea. That's what we want to do. Very exciting stream, I know. Tune in if you want to. We're just going to be chilling, hanging out, chatting it up. Now, let's finally take a look at what we ended up with as far as gear is concerned. So using Narcissus, this add-on is called Narcissus, we can see that we are fully enchanted. Everything is enchanted that I could enchant. Some of them are tier 2 because I'll be replacing those pieces of gear at some point, so I feel like it's not necessary for me to spend the gold on tier 3 enchants. But for instance, the weapon that is crafted, which I'm going to keep for forever basically, I have enchanted with a tier 3 enchant instead of a tier 2 enchant. Same goes with this ring, which is, it says the sockets are empty, but they're not. I have emeralds in the, yeah, now it shows it. Okay, whatever. But yeah, that's also enchanted with tier 3 Radiant Mastery. I went for Mastery because I'm a bit heavier on the haste department than I am on the Mastery department, and you actually want even more Mastery than you want haste, at least for the build that is currently on Archon. I don't know if it's any different for the build with the thing and the stuff and the Void Eruption, right? So speaking of build, I am running Void Weaver because people have been telling me to run Void Weaver for the 30-second damage window. Hopefully I'm able to make it work. There doesn't seem to be much to it other than send your cooldowns on cooldown. And I am apparently not prepared because the Glagio garbage is up somewhere. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's what I'll be running. So let's get to it. I think they're actually, never mind. Hold on. We're not getting to it just yet. We have some carved crests and stuff that we could be using. Why did I go here? That's not where I wanted to go. Rocket jump out of there and get onto the teleport pad. I want to upgrade some items because I actually have carved crests and stuff stuff that I can use, and I'm not too worried about the flight stones, because honestly, I feel like I'm not going to be particularly lucky when it comes to loot drops, because this character's been pretty cursed from the beginning, and not just because of the way it looks, just in general. The RNG on the delves and stuff has not been the best of the best. We're going to go ahead and do this quest at the same time. So let's upgrade. I think it was boots that I could upgrade. Look at that, 390 flight stones and like insignificant crests to just get a bunch of item level on that. I'll take it. And we have this champion chest that we could upgrade with carved crests as well. It's got a lot of haste. Bit of versatility. Don't mind the versatility, would prefer mastery, but you know, I'll take what I could get. Another veteran piece that we can upgrade all the way. Let's turn these in real quick, get some extra valor stones, bounce back a bit from the ones we just spent, complete all the rest of the quests, which is just crest transmutation, which is easy peasy since we have a bunch of crests from doing all the weeklies and stuff. I think I'm supposed to buy weathered crests with carved crests. And then, yeah, he gives me back the carved ones I lost, and I get some extra weathered ones from the transaction. There we go. If I'm ever worried about Valor Stones, I do have 450 Valor Stones down here that I can immediately dip into. So that's something. Probably not going to matter too much once I start upgrading all sorts of stuff, but yeah. We're going to upgrade what we can from our champion pieces to 4 out of 8. Oh, I didn't fully upgrade this. What did I run out of? I don't even know. Maybe I just misclicked and didn't upgrade it correctly. Let's do the shoulders. There we go. Gloves can also be upgraded. There we go. This gives good stats, so we're going to upgrade it. Like I said, we have so many carved crests that it doesn't even matter. We may as well just spend all of them to get to 4 out of 8 champion or the equivalent of that on anything we can. I really don't want to spend anything on the Entropic Skeleton Core. It's like, I know it's cheap. It's only 180 flight stones, but that's all I really have right now. The Skeleton Core fucking sucks, man, because that you have to go pick up orbs, if I'm understanding it correctly, and it just feels like a massive waste of my time if I go do that, because I want to be casting. ABC, always be casting. All right, well, we're as good as it's going to get. 646. This is actually higher item level than what's his face Gut Shield had when we started, but Gut Shield didn't craft anything, so I think that's where our advantage lies. So 646 is what we start our journey with. I feel like that is more than enough to do just about everything in this challenge that I want to do, but we're of course going to increase our item level further. Now this is a hell of a long intro to a +2 Cinderbrew Meadery, but I really wanted to show you guys at least part of the journey of me gearing this bad boy up. So we're going to go ahead and start hosting our key and see if we can't get some actual damage done. Now I'm probably going to get flustered. I'm probably going to be lost in the sauce as I do this because I am by nature a melee DPS player. That's what I play. So this is a caster, which is pretty alien to me. I've played a few times a caster and it usually doesn't go well, so let's hopefully do well in this iteration of me playing a caster. We'll see how it goes. I'll talk to you once I have a full group ready for the Cinderbrew Meadery, which may take a while. All right, here we go with a +2 Cinderbrew Meadery. You can see the group in the bottom right corner of the screen. The DH is 650, even though it doesn't show. I think they just don't have the thingy. Okay, let's just get started with a big old pull. I have no idea what my actual opener is supposed to be on this spec, so bear with me here, or on this build, I should say. We're gonna go with a Master Spell here for the 2 people that have the dot. Try and get that damage off of us. Would love to see some kicks on those beams that are coming out. We're probably gonna have to go in and just fear them so that we don't have those beams beating the shit out of us. Holy crap, am I taking taking my sweet time processing what's going on here. I am just spamming my abilities though, and that I think is a good idea. Our tank did just go down. I don't know if it's a lack of healing or a lack of him using his defensives. He actually used just about everything. He didn't use lay on hands, but he probably just died too quickly for that to be a thing. We're going to wait for that full reset. He said, lol, sorry, and that's all right. Just reset. Okay, we're doing just that. I don't think we've killed much other than some patrons. I think there was a double muscle pull. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to look at that guy. And let's get started again. This time the tank doesn't have as many cooldowns available. We have this guy coming in, so we got to be careful with that. Let's drop a thingy on him. Tank is struggling to stay alive. He's a 620 item level and he's treating it like this is a easy peasy lemon squeezy kind of run, but it ain't. It really ain't. Our healer may be struggling a little bit. I don't have Master Spell available again for my friends, but I do have the healing AoE cooldown. Healing AoE cooldown being Vampiric Embrace, so hopefully that does something. I don't know, maybe. We'll find out. I am Not enthused so far by the state of this run, but let's see if we can make it happen anyway. It is a +2, so the timer should be pretty forgiving. I'm trying to get fears out. Our tank is just rotting out, and I don't know if it's a lack of pain suppression being used or what it might be. I don't want to reset here. That would really, really suck. I have fear in 3 seconds. I'm going to fear right now. Never mind, I'm not going to cast my fear now because that person is gonzo or dunzo with the cast. Holy shit. Okay, well, that's a rough start to the dungeon, but let's see if we can make it work. Healing is sort of okay, but that's pretty rough. Tank is now sitting here staring at the screen. Pull smaller and use your Shield of the Righteous. Okay, well, he's not pulling smaller. He's in fact pulling the just roughly the same amount. Okay, let's just send our cooldowns into this. I don't know how important it is for me to use Halo in this build. I'm assuming it's not particularly important. I'm just going to send it out now anyway. I'm trying to do as much direct damage as possible. We have a interrupt available for that Pyromaniac. The muscle guy is dead, so we should be okay. We should send out our Shadow Crash, make sure that that gets reapplied. What in the heck is going on here? I'm actually doing damage though, guys. Look at it. I'm doing damage. It's happening. Damage is happening. We're gonna see how the tank pulls here for the rest of the dungeon. I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit more chill because he has been struggling to keep himself alive. Again, I don't know if it's a healing issue, external issue, or whatever. He should be able to tank this at 620 item level. I think he just needs to chill out a little bit. We'll see. This dungeon is incredibly punishing for tanks, though. When I did my +10 on Gut Shield, that was a miserable experience, but it was miserable for multiple reasons. It was miserable because I had a group that just could not smash all of their cooldown buttons. Could not. I had a group that smashed all their cooldown buttons the second they saw an enemy health bar. Excuse me, that was a bit of a hiccup there, and it was very frustrating for me. I'm trying not to send all of my cooldowns onto one mob right here, so we're gonna go ahead and wait for him to pull the next group. We're gonna put a focus on this Pyromaniac. Look at the other one. There is a big old thick boy in here, the muscle. We're gonna focus on the muscle. All right, set up the dots, Dark Ascension, whatever, and we're going to use Void Torrent. Could somebody please in the comments confirm whether Void Torrent is considered periodic or direct damage? I have no idea. I'm gonna send out the Mind Spikes. We're gonna send out our healing cooldown here and reapply our dots using Shadow Crash. The healing cooldown might help our tank out a little bit here. I am doing 300k HPS now, with only him really being affected by damage. Never mind, the AoE went out just now. I don't want to send my cooldowns right now. Even though I do have PI available, I could send it on someone. I'm gonna just Void Torrent and send out... right, never mind. Void Torrent sends out this thing. But it looks like we're pulling a bit more here. I'm gonna Mind Soothe the guys in the background there. I think we want to avoid those if possible. And I guess I'll send my cooldowns onto the mage and just blast whatever I can. By cooldowns, I mean PI. Okay, cool. Wonderful. So Mind Soothe being sent on those guys over there as well by the other priest. But I think those guys... Oh no, that's my Mind Soothe. It's the same Mind Soothe. That guy just moves around. Never mind. Hoo boy. Okay, there's probably Shadow Priest players out there looking at me and they're like, dude, you're doing it all wrong. And I know. I haven't looked up a guide or anything. I kind of just winged it here. Our tank is going to go ahead and pull mobs that might not necessarily need to be pulled. He is pulling more. We're going to focus on the Pyromaniac here, and he is neglecting his health while grouping, which is very common. That's perfectly fine. We're gonna send Void Torrent, and then I realize I have my Dark Ascension up as well, so I should probably send that, but that's all right. We're just gonna send as many Mind Blast or Void Blasts as we can into this. We're gonna interrupt the existing focus target, which is the Pyromaniac, and send Shadow Crash. I need to send Shadow Crash on cooldown during pulls. But so far, guys, I'm having fun. Even though this run doesn't look particularly promising, I am having fun. All right, it's time for the boss. Let's see if our friend knows where to tank him. He's standing right in front of all that, so I would assume he does not. That is unfortunate. We're just gonna have to make it work. Where I'm waiting for... Yes, please do Bloodlust the boss. I'm not sure why we didn't Bloodlust the first pull. I didn't even realize that we didn't do that, but that's okay. We're gonna rocket jump out of that straight into some goop, but that's fine. I'll waddle my way out of it. Sorry, I keep getting little hiccups in the middle of saying things, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. We're gonna try and grab all of these beer bottles or whatever it is and carry them to where we need to carry them. I picked one up. The tank seems to want to go that way, so I'll go this way. People are casting shit into the The boss. Okay. We need one more Stein. I'm going to actually drag you over so you can turn that in sooner. And I'm going to stand here where it's the least, like if these things spawn on me, it won't be an issue. All right. We have some instant cast. We're going to send some cooldowns here. I had to interrupt my Void Torrent, but at least I got my thing out. I'm trying to stand, trying to get closer, but I do want to start casting so I'm not wasting a bunch of time in between moving. Because, you know, ABC, always be casting. I was looking for instant cast, but I didn't have any available, so that's unfortunate. But we should be able to just blast the bejesus out of him, and he is gone for another intermission. I'm trying to avoid these godforsaken clouds, but I'm going to get knocked into one. What the heck? Where am I? I'm pressing all of my cooldowns. I'm going to use a defensive here because I got to run through some shit. Okay, we're just going to try and heal ourselves through this. A cloud is coming dangerously close to us. We're going to shield ourselves. People are just rotting out because the healer doesn't know how to heal this. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I think this is a CR angle, CR the healer angle maybe, or just bubble and do nothing angle. Okay, cool. Dude, +2 keys are so bad. We need a tank to actually CR someone. I would love it if it was me. I don't know. He seems to be out of range. He's getting hit by the dot and he doesn't seem to be able to live the dot. So he CR'd the healer who now accepted the CR and died. Yeah, we're just gonna go out of the dungeon now and see if we can't get a different group together. I think this episode is gonna be dedicated to the fresh 80 gearing as well as just getting a +2 cleared. Unfortunate. It wasn't working out. We couldn't get past the first boss, so we're going to go ahead and try to form a different group. Unfortunate. This is absolutely insane. So we had a group already formed, then the druid in the group disconnected, reconnected, disconnected again after we waited for them for like 3 minutes to reconnect. And I just said, screw it. I kicked them and their pre-made because I just don't have 2 hours to wait for them to actually decide to log into the game properly. Now the shaman that I have as a healer invited is also offline. And I don't know. I'm going to give him a minute, or maybe I should just kick. I don't know, bro. I just, like, what is wrong with people? And then the people I kicked prevented people from entering the dungeon, so we had to go out to reset. And then when we came back in, now the shaman's offline. I don't know, man. I'm gonna kick them. I'm gonna kick them. I don't have time for this shit. I need this to actually be done today because I need to make this video today. I was really optimistic. I think I even said it while I was recording the intro or whatever. I'm gonna do a 2, then that's probably gonna be a 4, and then that 4 I'm gonna turn into a 6. I'm gonna do the 6, and that'll be the first video. Yeah, shit, it will, dude. You're gonna do a +2, and you're gonna be fucking happy about it. You're gonna be happy if you time it with how it's been going. We have a holy paladin, triple paladin run. Whatever, man. Let's do it. 3 paladins, a priest, and a DK walk into a Cinderbrew Meadery. It's like the beginning of a bad joke, and that's what this run is going to feel like, probably a bad joke. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's going to be smooth as hell. Maybe we 3-star it. Who knows? And then I can skip to a 5 or whatever. But I'll be happy to just finish the dungeon and get... If I get a 4, I'm already happy. I'm already happy with just a 4. I swear to God, if the DK now disconnects, I'm just going to call it. I'm just going to call it for tonight. For this morning. It's 11:22. Okay, everyone is in the dungeon. Let's press the ready check. Everyone is ready. Let's start the poll timer. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're going to reset details. Here is what the group looks like. Countdown lady's really loud. We're going to start the dungeon here on the timer end, and let's show a bit more of the group. This is what it looks like. So we have people mostly around our own item level. We're the highest item level person in the group, so I feel that like that's fair. I'm going to PI the DK, I guess. Let's just put up a focus on this, give the DK a PI, and let's get started here. Probably not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just lost in the sauce, man, at this point. Let's send our healing cooldown as well. I'm just so overwhelmed at this point that I'm probably going to do things that make 0 sense to you, and I apologize if you're offended by how I play this class. It's just because I'm bad and don't know any better. That's why. People are actually interrupting. That's beautiful to see. I'm doing okay damage for my item level, I think. Probably doing less than I should because I messed up my opener, but whatever, man. Whatever. We do have Void Torrent available immediately for the next pull, so that's going to be nice. We're looking at what the Paladin wants to pull. Probably going to look at a double muscle pull. It doesn't look like a double muscle pull. That's nice, at least. I don't have Shadow Crash, but we'll send it now. We'll send it now after the Void Torrent, now that we have our thingy thing up, with a thingy thing being... Oh my goodness. We're going to mass the spell here. We're going to use defensives. I don't have my group heal available just yet, but we're going to try and get as much damage as we can out, and that should be what I do. Okay, we don't have Shadow Crash available, but we do need to reset HOTS or dots, whatever, man. Going to try and kick this guy, try and prevent some of that damage. Halo's going to go out for some group healing, but not much. Don't have my group heal available just yet, but we're doing okay. We're going to walk in fear. Muscle has been pulled. Chewy is pulled as well, it looks like. I don't have Shadow Crash just yet. Let's put Shadow Form on. That's a global, and then next global I can do Shadow Crash and get the blasting on the damage. 2 seconds until AoE heal is available. Let's start using the AoE heal, which is Vampiric Embrace. Try and contribute to some of this HPS. It's okay. Now it's just a muscle and chewy, which is not exactly the best thing, but we'll make it work. We're gonna Void Torrent this. We're gonna move out of that. Oh, I can move while casting Void Torrent. Right, I forgot about that with this build. Ideally, I would get some healing here, but it is a Holy Paladin. From what I hear, they're not in the best of places as far as as far as HPS is concerned. But apparently, Holy Priest is even worse. I don't know. We're going to put a focus on that. There is no muscle anymore. We pulled all the muscle in the dungeon. I'm going to give the DK some cooldowns here, and somehow I do not have dots on this person. Whatever. We're going to apply those now and try and get as much direct damage out as possible right here. We got the spell there. We're going to interrupt the focus target. Keep doing as much damage as we can. Reapply the dots. We're looking at the other Pyromaniac. I don't have a kick available because it has a 2.5 hour cooldown, so we're unable to do anything about it. I am currently staring at these bars. The tank is at 7 stacks of that, so I don't know if there's anything we can really do to help the tank out. Wasted, absolutely wasted my Void Torrent there on a target that did not have enough health for me to actually be using Void Torrent on, but we made it through. The trash has been taken out. We're going to pre-position to the left. I'm assuming the tank wants to take it to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. Let's start dotting up the boss. We can send our instant cast Vampiric Touch for a bit of extra damage. I'm going to Shadow Crash while I grab this. This is a thing from my trinket. We have our cooldown up. Throw Cinderbrew is up. Oh no, I can move while Void Torrenting. Yay, let's Void Torrent move. Yay, move while Void Torrent. All right, we're going to stand over here between these puddles because if the dot gets thrown at us, we drop a puddle at that spot. So we want to make sure if the dot goes on us, no dot goes out at all, which is perfect. That's ideally exactly what we want because the dot during this intermission is pretty dang dangerous. All right, everyone's going here. I sent one to here. Somebody didn't send their thingy. That's all right. Okay, everyone went out and did the whole thing, so we're good. We're going over to this side again. I can't say I'm a huge fan of that, but let's put out our guy here, our guy being the Shadow Fiend, and then we're going to Void Torrent. Throw Cinderbrew goes out. One seems to be on me. I'm going to use both my defensives. Going to use my Rocket Jump and hope for the best here. Managed to get over those. Beautiful. PI the DK, and let's get some damage out. Why am I sending my cooldowns when he's at 39%? I would not be able to tell you. I'm going to try and get some damage done while he's moving back to the thing to lower the duration of the end phase. Okay, now somebody's gonna grab a beer. This person has grabbed a beer. I'm gonna yoink them over here so that they can drop. Well, okay, I mean, you can keep going in that direction, I guess. Our Holy Paladin is keeping us alive. I have another beer I can grab here. I don't think I need it. I do need it. We're gonna run. I'm running. I'm trying to get the beer there. Feathers, go. Okay. Oh, lots of swirlies coming in. We're gonna Shadow Crash, and I think we can send a Halo into a Void Torrent. I don't care where I stand anymore. This is the final phase. We don't have to prep anything for the intermission or anything like that, so we can just stand wherever we want and just blast the bejesus out of this guy. 72 Shadow Word deaths later. Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? It was either death by that cloud or death by whatever the hell. Okay, please do not take that CR. Please do not take that CR. Just release. Why would we CR at 5% of the boss's health? Jesus. People have a reflex of using CR without actually checking whether they should or shouldn't. But so far so good. Let's see here. What is up next? A 3-mob pull. Massive. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Amazing. So exciting. We're gonna not send our 1 minute cooldown here. We're gonna wait for it to line up with PI, but we're gonna send our Void Torrent so that we can get our Rift out. We're gonna interrupt the one that's casting the Rejuvenating Honey. Is that what it was? I don't even know. 15 seconds to Void Torrent. We're going into the next group. That's all right. We're just gonna send our cooldowns anyway. Halo, I guess. Devouring Plague, of course. and just blast the bejesus out of that guy and give PI to this person. I do want to make sure I stand closer to a wall in case I get it, and it looks like the DK is the person who got it, so we're going to go ahead and just continue doing our thing. We're going to shadow crash on these mobs and then manually dot that guy because they were just spread out, so I wanted to shadow crash the mobs that are close to me. I can't pick where the shadow crash lands. I can just send it at an enemy because I use the one that targets enemies because I feel like it's less brain power necessary. You just kind of send it and hope that the tank's good at grouping mobs. Okay, Gobathulu is getting wrecked here by this. I can be moved while casting Void Torrent, so that's not an issue. Him knocking me back is not going to be an issue there. I can just channel it anyway. I have no shadow crash available for these little mobs, but I can manually dot them, I guess, and maybe do a teeny tiny little bit of damage to them. They last for long enough for me to actually bother dotting them, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. I could have mind soothed those, which I probably should have. That would have maybe indicated to the tank that he probably shouldn't pull them, but we're going to send our Dark Ascension here and a Void Torrent. I do believe all of those are dotted up from a previous shadow crash. Beautiful. I'm going to send a kick into something. I don't even know what I kicked, but I know I kicked something, and that's always good. Dots are running out. I don't want to send my shadow crash here because these mobs are almost dead. We're just going to shadow word death them into oblivion. I'm too short. I can't even grab these things from the from the freaking thing. Okay, I would like to pull those guys in the back, but it does not look like those are going to get pulled. We're going to just have to deal with small pulls. I'm going to use Fade here to reduce the damage coming in because I have a little bit of a talent that reduces my damage taken from Fade. We're going to shield ourselves, try to reduce some more of that damage being taken, and now we can shadow crash all these new little brew drops. Beautiful. PI is coming up here in a second. I think I might save it for the next pull, especially if we pull stuff into the next room, because there's just a couple of people here and we might want to pull that into next room. I do need to reapply my dots onto this one. I'm not going to send my shadow crash just yet. I'll send it now. That should be perfect. Holding cooldowns because it's just brew drops. I don't want to send shit into brew drops. That would be a waste, I feel like. So we're doing less than tank damage, but that's okay. I think I saw wings on the tank, so I don't think I had much of a chance. All right, shadow crash in 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab my little orb, send the shadow crash. It doesn't look like we're doing anything. I'm just gonna send my cooldowns. Just send cooldowns on cooldown. I can't predict when the tank's going to do a big pull, so I may as well try to do it by just sending cooldowns on cooldown, like I said. Switching over to the Pyromaniac, going to look to interrupt him here in a second, unless he just kicks the bucket before anything even happens. But your boy doing 3.2 million DPS on 4 mobs feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. All right, we're going to pull a hobgoblin here, so I'm going to try and position myself in such a way that I stand over to the side where he can just immediately slam into the wall. It's going to be more sudden damage, a bit harder to prepare for, but the cast of the charge lasts for so long, it's not an issue. Reckless Delivery is coming out. I'm going to use my defensive here, try and be as beefy as I can be. We're going to use our AoE heal. We're going to Fear, Shadow Crash again, and get these Void Mind Spikes Insanity out because I think they do a significant chunk of damage and I've been over capping on those charges. 12 seconds until the charge goes out. I don't have to actually do anything just yet. I'm going to use another Fade. It's a low cooldown, slight defensive, and I've been dispelled in the meantime. Beautiful. I think we should drop... okay, well, I'm gonna Shadow Crash this. I'm not too happy about that. We're pulling extra. We're ignoring the fact that we have a priest in the raid or in the group that could potentially take care of some of those. But we have cooldowns available. We're going to send them. Void Torrent's going to go out, and then we're going to blast the bejesus out of this Hobgoblin. Charge goes out. It's not on me, so I don't care. We're going to send the Shadow Crash into those mobs, reapply manually on the Hobgoblin because he's away from the group right now. Halo goes out. I should have probably Void Blasted there instead of Haloed, but it's whatever. There's so many mobs that I think Halo might be worth it. I don't know. You guys can tell me more about it later. Or when I see the comments, I can figure out what I should be doing because there's usually always a bunch of people that are trying to tell me how to play. We're going to rocket jump over so that he charges into this wall. Not ideal in terms of taking damage, but it is ideal in terms of him not running around like a maniac. I think we should... well, I don't know. For me, it's easy to say that we should pull this into next group. It seems like that is what we're doing. I'm going to Shadow Crash over there into that pile of mobs and PI the DK, even though we have a boss coming up. We don't have a Lust, so I don't have to worry about overlapping Lust with PI or anything crazy like that. I just want to make sure I do a bunch of damage here on these mobs at least. AoE is where I'm going to shine a bit, I guess. But also, since the mobs don't die instantly, I don't think I have much of a need for using this build, so I might go run the other build at some point. But then again, maybe this group is just doing less damage than an average group. Rejuvenating Honey is up on this one. We're going to go ahead and purge that. Now we are ready to start with the boss. Tank is getting ready to jump in. He's setting up his little blessed hammers, and we're good to go. So let's go. Shadow Crash after already casting, manually casting the thing. That's great. We're going to use Devouring Plague and then Void Torrent. We have our instant cast or empowered or whatever usable Shadow Word Death available there. No shield to speak of, so it's not doing any extra damage. I should be using some kind of defensive for these swirlies. Tank is doing a great job of moving the boss away from these. We have grippy hands coming out. I've manually dotted everything. I'm going to Shadow Crash the boss, I guess, and I'm going to send my cooldowns here and try and get some damage onto these brew drops. They're finally dead. Tank is close to a wall, which may present some issues of itself. We're going to use I should have just moved, I think. I keep forgetting that I can move with the thing. I'm going to use a big cooldown here. Never mind, I've been dispelled. Probably a waste of a cooldown now, but it's okay. He's standing next to a wall, which what I wanted to say about that is the brew drops that spawn in now from his spin might be an issue. I'm going to go ahead and fear these. I'm going to use a bit of a defensive here, use a bit of a group heal here. Our healer did go down. Now we have a CR that's worth sending. We're going to go ahead and give PI to our DK friend. And we're going to Shadow Crash these and focus damage on the boss. The AoE I do to them is cleave unless I don't put Vampiric Touch on the boss. But it looks like we've taken care of those. I'm going to Master Spell myself to chill the healer out a little bit. Boss is just about dead. I'm going to wait for the overlap with, what is this thing called? With Void Torrent before I use my Dark Ascension, but with 23 million HP left, I don't think it's worth using Dark Ascension here. While we run to the next group, I'm going to use Void Torrent, and I'll have Void Torrent back up because we have time until we run to the next group. Holy shit. I'm just saying exactly what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm doing a good job of highlighting what I'm doing, so you guys can tell me exactly where I'm going wrong with this. There's going to be a lot of comments of people telling me how to play, and I think I can appreciate it here. I'm a little bit more familiar with Archon build, so that part might not need as much explanation, but for this build, I don't know what my priority is. I have no idea how important Halo is. I'm just going to send out Halo before I cast my other cooldowns and just leave it at that. Void Torrent kind of overcapping me on Insanity. I want to make sure that Mind Blast goes out. Shadow Word Death seems pretty powerful, so we're going to go ahead and use it. Get that Void Blast out. Keep blasting the Void Blast. That's very important, apparently. You want to get that damage out there as much as possible. Okay. I like how I'm telling you what you want to do, even though I just said I have no clue what my priorities are. Oh, man. I'm so full of shit sometimes. Whatever. That feels like something you want to do. Let's put it that way. I think like that's a better way to put it. I don't want to bother casting anything at those. Tank could use this spell, but that's all right. We're going to put a focus on this guy. Okay, we have PI available. We're going to go. Why don't I have Shadow Crash? Oh, I don't have thing on this. Give the DK the PI. I should probably be giving it to the Paladin, to be honest, because I don't think the DK has cooldowns at the same time I do. But that's all right. Trying to get these Void Blasts out. Oh, PI target went down. That's unfortunate. He got full of hubris because of my PI. I think that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Whatever. I'm not overlapping my cooldowns correctly. I'm mismanaging and desyncing them constantly. But at the same time, who gives a shit? I'm having fun. I'm actually having fun. This is super fun. Not doing the maximum amount of damage that I could be, but this is literally the first time I'm playing M+ on this character. I did do some Mythic Zeros last night with the squad from the stream while I was trying to gear this character up and get it ready for today's video, for the first video of the series. And I feel like we did a good job gearing it. Today I had quite a bit of a jump in item level, but yesterday near the end of the day when I started getting pieces from M+, or from M0, that was pretty nice. Let's rebuff our DK friend. It looks like we want to pull everything close. Okay, never mind. I'm just hold on. MD goes out, kind of a waste, whatever. Dark Evangel, whatever, Dark Ascension. You're gonna send the beam. I should have used Devouring Plague before the beam, but that's all right. We're gonna send our healing cooldowns as well, try and get some healing onto the group. Trying my damnedest to keep those dots alive. I should dot this guy and switch to DPSing him. Okay, this guy got pulled in a little bit late, so I'm gonna switch to DPSing him. Gotta make sure I get out of those swirlies. Not good for your health. Gobthulu cannot handle those kinds of swirlies right now, or pretty much ever. I don't think I should be standing in any swirlies unless it's a buff, but it usually isn't, no matter what your friend tells you in the guild, who seems to be laughing when you stand in them and die. Alright, I feel like I did a fairly good job there on this pull. Not the most amazing DPS I've ever seen, but I was kind of all over the place, so I guess it worked out as well as it could have. Hoping I get dots on this guy. I do not get dots on this guy. We're going to send PI into our Paladin, Red Paladin friend here. Going to try and get that kicked. Luckily managed to. Did I pull that? I don't think I pulled that because they're not running for me, but I'm going to use Fade anyway just to make sure it's not me who they target. We have our Void Rift out. We're trying to get the Void Blasts out. Get the Void Blasts out. More Void Blasts. You can never have too many Void Blasts. We're going to use Fade. Never mind, Fade's on cooldown. Tried to use Fade. Why? Because Fade will actually remove thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Movement speed altering effects because of the talent I have called Phantasm. I don't have kicks because my kicks have half an hour cooldown, but I do have dots, which is nice, I guess, or something. I don't know. But we're holding our Void Torrent for the start of the boss fight, which is coming up right now. I guess we're pulling the little bees into the boss. We're going to Shadow Crash the bees, Shadow Crash the boss. Shadow Crash the boss, Halo, Devouring Plague, and then Void Torrent and Dark Evangelist, Dark Ascension, whatever, man. Dark Ascension's up. We're going to go ahead and send the Void Blasts. Send in the Void Blasts. Making sure I don't overcap on Insanity. Do need to keep track of these bees. I am a ranged class, so I'm going to use that as an excuse to not be focusing on using the bees. It does look like our healer is taking care of it, but the healer should focus on healing at this point. Somebody else is doing it. It seems to be our DK. He kind of wasted it, didn't actually break multiple. Somebody else did, so that works out. We have more of these coming in. We're going to start dotting up the bees. We dot up the bees, manually dot the bees, screw it. We're going to use Fade to make sure that we don't have aggro on the bees. Use a defensive here during that knockback, and we should be good here. I'm going to get a little bit closer here. After our rift expires, we will use the bees to make sure that we can take care of these canisters, because once the void rift is gone, that's when my cooldowns are gone. It does look like everyone is using them. I'm going to hop onto this last one so I'm not useless. I can't do anything. It's stuck in the thing. Whatever. I didn't use it on time. My bad. I got knocked back into these little bees. I'm going to use Fade again to try and drop aggro. Hopefully the healer doesn't eat shit because of that. We're going to MD here to make sure that we dispel the healer from the dots, and then the healer can take care of the tank. I'm going to send all of my cooldowns now. We have Big Damn, Big Damn, Big Damn, Devouring Plague into Shadow Word Death. Get the Void Blasts out. Is Shadow Word Death more important than Devouring, than Void Blast? I don't know, but that's how I've kind of been treating it. I should probably read my talents and see what's empowered and what isn't empowered and whatnot. I'm going to spread dots onto the bees. Need to actually turn towards the bee, drop a Fade, make sure that it attacks someone else who's on the aggro table. Shadow Crash the boss, Void Torrent the boss. Void Torrent should kill the boss, and there we go. That's taken care of. Probably not the most useful I've ever been in my life, but I feel like I did okay. Unfortunately, we pull some more bees. The tank is not unaware that we've pulled the bees. Also, unfortunately, you can't get up here anymore. They've put an invisible wall. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm going to Shadow Crash the bees, Fade again, make sure that somebody else is being attacked. Nobody else is being attacked. Nobody else is being attacked. I'm going to die to the dot while I'm flying up. That's unfortunate. Is the tank actually hitting them? Okay, I've died. Okay, Knights pull. Sorry. Okay, the Knights pulled for us. It looks like we're resetting because of this. What are we doing? What's happening? We're pulling. Are we pulling? Are we not pulling? Tank is up there. I think we can go up there because the tank is up. Can release. Just release. And the tank is taking care of this. Hopefully we don't land into any of those swirlies. Ideally the tank would move away from where we land so that there's no swirlies there. A bit of a cluster here near the end, but we're gonna make it work. Looking like a solid 2-star. I should ideally be in shadow form after kicking the bucket. All right, let's get some damage done. We do have a skull marker, so that's good. Let's send out our Void Torrent. Probably should have Devouring Plague before that to get the full effect of my mastery. Ix is next, so we're gonna go for that next. Shadow Crash again. We should use Shadow Crash on cooldown. I'm gonna hold my PI so that we can use it at the start of the boss fight. I feel like that is more important, and we want to get more damage out there. I don't know whether the tank will be taking care of all of the boxes or not. Oh, we were targeting this one. Never mind. Sorry, I kind of used it on the wrong one. We're going to Void Torrent him. Whatever. I don't know if the tank is going to be breaking all of the beer kegs or whatever they are, the Cinderbrew kegs, or not. He's trying to move the one guy away from the other, but I think they patched that out. Either that or he just wanted to move a little bit out of his own consecration. I don't know. That's sometimes fun, you know. See how hard I can get punched in the face. It used to be that you could, when there's two left, you have someone with a taunt take one of them far away from the group, and the group kills the other, or whichever way around. And the other one that's really far away will not get buffed by the one that dies. So There's that. Grab this orb. I had no idea how long they last, so I'm just going to grab it off cooldown. And now we're ready. We're going to give PI to our DK. He probably has big cooldowns here. I probably shouldn't send Void Torrent into a target with 0 dots. That's probably not a great idea, but we're going to make it work. Need to get these Void Blasts out. I don't know why I'm using Halo. I'm just an Archon guy, so... We're going to step back a little bit, see if we can't get ourselves closer to this barrel. Never mind. Those barrels are being broken. We're supposed to break the big barrels, guys, not the little barrels. The little barrels don't matter. It's not about clearing all of the barrels. It's about clearing the big ones, because the big ones put a dot on the group. We're going to use Fade here to manage that 1 dot. I'm going to go ahead and break these barrels, and then I can Void Torrent the boss while moving. Tank moves that onto me, even though I just broke those. That's okay, though. We're fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. It literally is that meme. Everything's fine. We're going to have one of the dots during the intermission here, where we take some damage from the intermission itself. I'm going to move over to this side right now to make sure that I don't get mowed down by those waves. We used Vampiric Embrace during the intermission because of that extra dot to make sure that we don't take too much damage. Now my cooldowns are nearly up. I don't want to use Dark Ascension before I set everything up for the cooldowns. So okay, let's send out Halo, Dark Ascension, and then we're going to send out our Void Torrent, and then we have 2 Void Blasts available. Want to get that Devouring Plague up. Bro, go here. Bro, the big barrels. The big barrels is what matters. I'm going to move away. Keep moving away. Okay. I'm next to this. I'm going to hope I get a dot so that we can take care of that. It looks like those aren't. DK understands what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and step out of that. We're going to MD over here. Try and get those dots off of people so the healer has less work to do. Now I can move while Void Torrenting, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and avoid those waves. I'm going to use my Fade here to avoid some of the, or reduce some of this damage being done to me. I also realized I haven't ever rebuffed the thingy, so my WeakAuras was just standing there staring me in the face. We're going to send this off cooldown. By this, I mean Power Infusion, and holy shit, man, we did the +2. We actually managed to do a +2. We just had to outgear it by a shit ton. Whatever. We're breaking chests or barrels or whatever, even though we don't need to because the boss is dead. But let's see. Do we get some loot? If I had gotten the necklace after crafting one, I would have been quite annoyed. It does not look like we have anything that could be traded to us. It's plate and a strength trinket, so I do not care. Thank you for the run. Make sure I shield my YouTube channel, and then I'm going to peace out. That was actually pretty fun. I like Shadow so far. I'm not sure how I feel about this build, because I just need to learn the opener. I need to look up a guide for the opener. But, guys, we have a +4 Priory of the Sacred Flame, which is probably going to go miserably, but we'll see how it works out. All right, so I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I had quite a bit of fun. I think I did okay. I don't know if this damage breakdown looks anything like it's supposed to. I'm still kind of coming to terms with how to do it. Commentating while learning a spec has never been my strong suit. Commentating while playing the game in general has never been my strong suit. I play 30 to 40% worse when I'm commentating. But enough excuses. I need to learn how to play this, so I'm going to look at some guides and whatnot and take a look at my actual opener. There's probably already 5 people that play Shadow Priest that have told me how to do the opener. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just new and I'm learning, and I haven't really bothered to look up anything, but I feel like I did fine. Today for the stream, what we're probably going to do is we're probably just going to farm a transmog for Gob Cthulhu because we don't have a +6 key cleared. Once I clear +6 keys, I start farming them on stream. So that's probably going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is probably going to be me attempting to clear a +4 and then a +6. I might just highlight the things that happened in the +4 and then do a full commentary of the +6 run. We'll see how that works out. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you want to see what happens between these videos, you can check out the stream that I mentioned earlier. I stream both on Twitch and YouTube. On YouTube, apparently there's some quality issues, so you might want to check out the Twitch stream. That is up to you. I also interact with the Twitch chat a little bit more, so there's that. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Gob Cthulhu floats out, and Gob Cthulhu hungers for loot.